What's your view on contradiction? Is it important, as in when it comes to spirituality, if a teacher contradicts or a book does it? I hope that makes sense. I can abbreviate. Oh, excuse the spelling. Abbreviate, sorry, yeah. Yeah, so life is one big contradiction. The contradiction's just a word, really, so you can't even call it a contradiction. But yeah, it's impossible to particularly talk about non-duality, because non-duality is talking about oneness. So it's everything is God, everything is it. And this separation comes from this entity, this I entity, that believes it exists in time and space, in past and future, and in opposites. So the me dynamic exists in comparison. So I am somebody, they are someone else. This is the edge of me, and this space is something else out there. I am a white person, they are a black person. I am a good person, they are a bad person. I am a happy person in comparison to that person. I am a sad person in comparison to that person. I like chocolate. So the me dynamic works on the basis of comparing itself to other objects. And what I point to is oneness. That who you think you are, so this body mind mechanism, who believes its past actions, it was born 30 years ago, I think you said 1980, so 33 years ago, and will live for another 40 or 50 years. And I am somebody that lives inside this body, and I stop at the edge of my body and the edge of my story, and everything else begins. And I am a separate entity walking around in the flow of life. And I point to that being an illusion. All there is life. All there is oneness. Energy expressing itself in many different forms. And that energy is nothing and everything. That energy comes from nowhere, and it is everything. It has no source, and yet everything is source. So, of course, this is going to contradict itself, because the language in which we're using to talk about this is in duality and in comparison. And I'm talking about the end of that comparison, that self-other. So of course it's going to contradict itself completely. And I think you were reading Osho recently, and Osho is amazing for doing this. I remember listening to a talk where one day he was telling everyone how much he loved Jesus, and then the next day everyone how much he hates Jesus, which is hilarious, because it's not about having a new belief system. Non-duality is the collapse of the belief system, and the main part of the belief system is I am a separate entity. It's the collapse of anything you think you know into absolute not knowingness, absolute innocence. And in that innocence, all that's left is love, because love is the essence of everything, even the apparent separate entity which is in a world of opposites. Everything is that love. But as the world of opposites collapses, then love is, and love is oneness. And God knows what I just said, because as I said, this is absolute not knowingness. Speaking just came out of this mouth, and hearing seemingly happened.